Well, good morning. Welcome back to a rather loud and noisy allotment. And that's pretty much the vein of this video. It's all about tidying up. As you can see, I've got a fire going. I've got all that green waste that I don't compost to burn. And then, yeah, it's tidying up. First day of autumn tomorrow, or meteorological, I can never say that. Meteorological, is that right? You know what I mean. Of autumn, first day of autumn. And that's pretty much now. We have definitely gone over the hill in terms of all the produce that we've got growing on the allotment. Even the greenhouse with the chilies is starting to look a little bit tired. So today is just going to be about tidying up, getting rid of the rubbish, harvesting. It's Sunday, so we're going to have a Sunday roast today. So I need to get some I need some carrots and I need some parsnips. So we'll have a look at the parsnips and see how they've done. As I said to you before, I'm not holding out too much hope because I mixed the soil up. I prepped some special soil when I had the back plot in the raised planters. But when I was transferring everything over here, I think I got mixed up. But we'll see that later on when we take a few out. But first of all, I'm going to take you across to the sweet corn. So as you can see, I've made a start in getting these down, and the reason I did that is, if you remember last week, I couldn't make it, or I couldn't film last week down on the allotment due to the rain. When I did come down, I noticed that, yes, the dreaded rats had come along and started to nibble. So that was the first sign all season. So I decided, right, they're having none of it. So I harvested everything that I needed, and I took everything out. And as you can see, I've got all this green waste to burn. So that's the reason for the fire mainly. Now I am going to clear this. I know Izzy, one of my regular subscribers, mentioned that she sometimes just cuts off the tops and leaves the root system to rot down in the ground. Then I think, obviously, adding nutrients to the bed. I said I was going to try it, but I don't think my OCD brain will live with that because I want to compost this up when I've finished. So I think I am just going to clear it. Right, let's crack on. First off, let's get some of this out of the barrow into the fire. It is around just after 7. I think there's only myself and one plot holder on, so it's the ideal time to have a smoky fire. Whilst I'm here, I'd like to thank everybody for all their suggestions with regards to, oh dear me, with regards to the tropical plant suggestions. I had quite a lot of messages and some brilliant suggestions, so I do appreciate that, and I am going to be doing my research. Just one special shout out to Carl, who's over in York, I believe, who has a super T-Rex which he lovingly tends, and that he suggested the T-Rex, so definitely going to be getting one of those. So Carl, thank you for your suggestion, and also thank you very much for being an avid watcher of the channel. Right, while that's doing that, I'll go and cut and pull out the rest. you know what? I'm going to get over my OCD, and I'm going to do exactly that, Izzy. I've changed my mind in that short space of time. They were very easy to snap off, so all you can see, you can just see the heads there. So I'm going to do it. I'm going to see how it goes, and if it's easy digging next season and it's all rotted down, then why bother taking it out in future? So what I'm going to go do now is get myself a barrow of horse manure and get this covered over. It's a right trek across the allotment for this stuff. You certainly get your steps in. It's great being down on the allotment this time of morning when nobody else is on. Or very few people are on, should I say. I don't manure my beds every year. It's normally every other. So this year they'll be getting, most of the beds, they'll be getting a topping of this, as well as the black gold that I get from the recycling centre, and I'm hoping to get a load of leaf mould dropped. Because I really do think it's important how much work you put into the soil. The more work you put in, I think the better the results. So it's worth doing, and you don't have to rush. You know, I mean, we've got a stockpile here that's got to be 15 metres all the way back, and there's 2 piles. So there's no rush. You know, you can just take your time, a bed at a time. Today, my main thing was sorting out that sweet corn bed and getting a harvest. And that's all I do. Just little jobs, quite often. Right, I'll just start the hike back. First thing I've got to negotiate is that hill. I don't put too much on. 1 barrow for this bed is suffice. Nice thin layer. I remember one time I came here when I first got the plot, and I did 20 trips in one session. I slept that night, I'll tell you. Right, there we go. Now, that bed is now being put to bed for the winter. I'll keep an eye on any late weed seedlings that come through, but pretty much that's it. And I may, if I get some decent cardboard, bang some cardboard over the top of that and leave it over the winter to replenish. So there we go. That's another bed sorted out, and that's all you need to do. Come down, break things into a bite-size chunk and just do that. So this bed's done now here. The carrot bed is still in production. The far bed with the beetroot, which I need to check, we'll do that in a moment, is still in production. And I need to speak to Dan about these things because we're late in the season. I don't think oat's going to happen, so I need to have a chat with him about that. And Dahlia Avenue needs a little bit of a trim. Before we look at the beetroot, we'll have a look at this, the leeks. Now, if you remember, when I got the allium leaf miner a couple of beds down, I was really worried for these and I was about to pull them out. And I just saw little glimpses of life in them, so I thought, do you know what, I'll just pull the worst ones out and leave them. And these are turning into some decent sized leeks. Forgive the weeds, I need to get in here. Gosh. Yeah, but these are turning into some decent sized leeks, so it'll be interesting to see when I harvest those. This coming midweek update, I'm nipping over to Martin's and I'm going to take you along with me because Martin has been doing growing about 3 or 4 leeks in these tubes, and he would normally harvest them around this time for some of the shows that he's entered in the past, and he's bravely invited me across to film the reveal. Now, he said he's unsure what the results are going to be, but he'd be happy to share it with everyone, so we'll see that hopefully on the Wednesday update. Right, let's have a look at these beetroot, and as you can see down here, these are forming nicely. Even though they're all clumped together, these are forming lovely. Let's just have a grab of that one, eh? There we go. That's an absolutely perfect size. So I will start and harvest these. I'll take some home today and we'll get them on the boil. Brilliant. Right, here at the parsnip bed, there's only me and the wife for dinner today, so I don't need too many. Now I'm unsure which way this worked. I transplanted some, the first ones, and I planted a follow-on crop, direct sowed them. And I'm not sure which were which. And what I'll do is I'll have a feel at their heads and I'll be. I think these were the ones that I direct sowed. No, that I transplanted, I think. I'm sure somebody, some observant subscriber will tell me if I'm wrong or right. But I'm going to plump for this bed. But I'm looking, and look what I found here. Another pumpkin. I don't know if you can see that there. Lying in the parsnip bed. So I'm going to try and lift that out and just put it on the side. But let's have a look. Let's see if we could. I can tell that this one's forked straight away, but gosh, it's a decent size, but it's definitely forked. There we go, legs 11. So that they're not bad though, you know, they're not bad. And that's not enough for me. I like the parsnips, as you know. Let's see if there's any more. Nah, that one's forked as well. Yeah, I think I definitely messed up with the soil. Right, let's try this one. Ah, yo. Come on, guys. Are we happy with that? Are we happy with that? Gotta be a good foot long, is that? Gotta be. I'm happy with it anyway. Parsnips, love them. Right, one more because I'm greedy. Let's go for this one over here. Ooh. This one feels like a decent one. I can't feel a split on it. A fork on it, should I say. Jeez. On here. Watch me end up falling into this bed here. Oh, lovely. Worth the effort. Look at that. Come on. Come on. You've got to be happy with that. Superb. They'll be in the pot within a matter of hours. Right, let's get across to the carrot bed through the squash. Before I get the carrots, I'm going to harvest this butternut because it's a beauty. Oh, how about that then? Well, that's a cracker, isn't it? Now, with that off, we should get more nutrients and energy into the smaller squashes. So, I'll put that there. Don't forget it, Mal. Right, let's just see what carrots we've got. Carrots this year have struggled really with the dry conditions. Need to get up here. Oh well. Again, there's only the two of us, so just pull a few. Oh dear. Let me get out without doing any damage. Oh, I'll just turn you around. There we go. So, not too bad. Not too bad. But as I say, I've had much better years for carrots. But they'll do nicely. Gotta keep this fire stoked, because there's a lot of this to burn today. So just making sure that the air holes at the bottom of the burning bin are clear. I'll keep the air going through it and keep it hot. Lovely beetroot. I have that on my Sunday roast as well. Does anybody else do that? Whilst the Sunday roast is cooking, I might as well collect some of these golden sunrise tomatoes and have those in the oven on the bottom tray, so we can use those for our sauces. So I'm not just putting the oven on to roast, that's not quite ready, to roast the tomatoes. So it's two birds with one stone. And these tomatoes have done absolutely brilliant outside this year. And obviously that's down to the fantastic summer that we've had. So yeah, I'm going to get a tray of these and get them in the oven. As you can see, I managed to get all these peppers stripped down. Just a couple to do in the corner there, but starting to take home quite a few of these. And as I've mentioned in the past, it's one of the first seeds in at the beginning of the growing season, and it's one of the last things that you harvest. So I only need about 3 today. So yeah, that was one of the little jobs that I needed to do, and it's task and finish. Pick your jobs, you know, don't come down and look at it and just start willy-nilly here and there. Pick your 3 jobs, say right, I'm going to do that today, and I'm off. It just makes it so much easier. And then come down the next time, another 3 jobs, and before you know it, you know, you're clearing up and you're working your way into the winter period, where I believe you can actually take your foot off the gas and you can just get around and just improve your plot. You know, if you've got any new ideas, you know, like me, I've got to sort out my raised beds. They've got to be looked at this year, so that's going to be the main task this year, but I'm sure there'll be others on the way. There we go. That's a nice harvest for this time of year, and I've managed to clear the sweet corn bed and sorted that, and hopefully before I go I'll get all this green waste that I'm not choosing to put in the compost burnt. So those were the tasks, and those hopefully will be finished in the next half an hour to an hour. Brew time. Right, so Mick's just come on, so I'm going to have a brew and have a chat with Mick. I'm quite pleased with what I've got done today. I was at a wedding last night, and I kept myself disciplined. I made sure I didn't have too many pints because I knew I needed to get this done, and I'm really glad that I've got that bit done now, and all I'll do now is work out what I'm going to do next and just chip away a bit at a time. Yeah, so what I'm going to try and do is the midweek update will probably be from the plot, and we'll nip over and see Martin if he's still up for that, and we'll have a look at his parsnip reveal. And then what I've got to try and do is see if I can squeeze in that film with Norman, having a chat about this plot that he had before me for 50 years. So I want to do that quite soon, because I do know he's going away on a cruise, a Nordic cruise somewhere. So I need to have a chat with him about that. But that's me done for today. I would just like to thank everybody for popping along and for watching these videos and liking them and all your lovely messages. I really do appreciate it, and I want to thank those new subscribers that have come on just recently and welcome them to the channel. And the other thing is, next week I may have some news that might surprise you, but I don't want to speak too soon. Let's wait and see what happens, and if it does, you guys will be the first to know. But it will certainly make the channel a little bit more interesting, and I think it'll enhance the channel if anything. So we'll wait and see when I can make that announcement. Right guys, I'm waffling on as I always do. I never know how to end the video, you know. I'm ridiculous at it, so I do ramble, so forgive me for that. But listen, have a great rest of the weekend, a super week ahead. Hopefully I'll see you all on Wednesday for the midweek update. But until then, I'm having a brew, I'm getting myself off. But happy growing.